What's up, everybody? Welcome to Coffee with Den, episode 66, 6 sets of 10. So it's Wednesday again, and man, it's been a week so far. I don't know about you guys, but it's reminding me that life is dynamic. So we're going to go through some stuff on Den today. There's been some changes recently. I'm interested to see what my feed looks like. If you have been following along last week at the governance call, we talked about an update to the way that new layers get subscribers when they win the LCP. And there was two governance, what do you call them? GIs, right? Two proposals. Both of them passed. One of them was that when a layer wins the LCP, the layer creation process, that denizens are auto-subscribed to it. That came along because there was a lot of people forget that they have to subscribe to stuff to be able to even respond or reply or post inside of the layer. So anyway, there was a discussion with that led into the idea that we should probably apply that retroactively just one time. And then from now on, people would just get, a few additional layers. They can unsubscribe to them if they want. But the interesting thing is going back retroactively to apply the subscriptions, everybody got a whole bunch of new layers subscribed to yesterday. So that was interesting. There is a couple that were missed. I know why. I got to go back in and look at it today. So like, for example, Bitcoin and like birds, and a couple of them didn't get hooked into that. So I got to go back and rerun that. We also did not subscribe anyone to a layer that they had already unsubscribed to, if that makes sense. So if you've been subscribed to it in the past, you decided it was not for you, we went ahead and took that into account and did not subscribe people to something they've already unsubscribed to. And then we also did not auto subscribe everyone to the not safe for work layers. So we didn't get 6,000 additional eroticism subscribers for pretty good reason. So anyway, that's the update. What's up, Iro? Good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. I was just looking up in Juicy J, you're on too. Awesome. Good morning, man. I was just looking at housing prices up in the Northeast, and it's more expensive up there, man. We're my wife and I are considering a move. Not sure where we're going yet or what that's going to consist of, but this is going to be an interesting year for a lot of people, ourselves included. So we'll see what happens. So today we'll go through some layers. I want to check and see if anybody's been posting in the new layers. The ones that most recently won we had Selfie, Star Wars, Digital Nomad. What was the other one? There was another one. Anyway, there's 4 of them, so check that out. Obviously, it's just me right now. We'll see if John or David pops in. I know the computer repair business has been slamming Gravity Crab, so he's probably repairing laptops out there. And then with John, I was up yesterday. I was running through a new. He's got a pretty cool game show concept that we'll throw up on Den once it gets some wrinkles ironed out of it. So that'll be cool. Otherwise, we're going to keep it casual and look at Den stuff, man. Let's see what's up. So like I said, everybody's got a whole bunch of new layers they're subscribed to. One of the effects of that is that your home feed is going to have a bunch of stuff maybe that you didn't recognize, right? That you weren't subscribed to before. If I go into the photography layer, for example, looks like that one got missed too. So there's a bunch of them that got missed. You can tell which ones got hit because, so this one's got 188 subscribers. Let's look at a different one. Let's go to the layers list. The ones that actually did already happen. Cannabis, for example. I'm glad that one made it. 6.9 thousand subscribers. So it looks like about half of the layers worked correctly on that, and the other half did not. Let me bring David up. What's up?
Hello.
How's the laptop business? I was just going through talking about how we're subscribing everyone to the past winners, LCP winners.
Like everybody?
Everybody. So Cannabis has 6.9 thousand subscribers now.
Nice.
Nice. And
we auto subscribed a bunch of people.
Yeah, there was. I was just talking about it. I guess I'll recap.
I've been gone for 5 minutes.
I know. Well, I got rolling, man. No time to waste. We did not hit the business layers, the private layers, the not safe for work layers. When we tried to hit all of the LCP layers, but it looks like we missed some. So like Bitcoin, for example, only has 52 subs. So that one didn't make it. There was apparently some of the layers were not labeled as LCP layers in the database. So they didn't get hit. So I'll fix that as soon as I get done here this morning. So by lunchtime, it'll be all fixed.
So why did we do that?
Okay, I'll just go to the GI. So if you go to governance, which you should from time to time, just to see, for example, I have a whole list of things to vote on. I'll go do that in a minute. But on the right, there's this Dragon Den logo. And in here, there's 2 recent proposals. One of them's from Joe, talking about low subscribers on new layers. People don't realize they have to subscribe to them after they win, or they won't see them, and you can't post somewhere, for example, unless you subscribe in it. So he was like, why don't we just subscribe everybody to the new winning layers when they win? That could be part of like, hey, you won. It's free and comes with a bunch of subscribers. Because if you think about it, the community has already voted for the new layers. So they've already signaled, hey, we want this. So why not sub them to it? That kind of thing. So that was put up to a vote, which all denizens have the ability to vote. You don't have to have lot in Den.social to vote on Den.social stuff. Everybody gets to vote. So that was put up for a vote. It passed.
Yeah, that needs to be a toggle.
And then what's a toggle? What do you mean?
To be auto subscribed to things or not?
Yeah, that's going to be a toggle. We did discuss that. Yeah, we're going to make a toggle for that to opt out. Not at the moment, but yeah. And then I am posted one and said, hey, why don't we retroactively do that to all the ones that have won? And that passed. So
that works.
You do. That's how we do it. If it passes, we do it.
Welcome to democracy. Good morning.
Just checking out the comments here. Good morning. Yeah, Hyro says Distant is only thinking about moving to New York and it's already out of time. I don't know if I'm moving to New York, but we're looking at somewhere in the Northeast.
I wouldn't move to New York.
I mean, New York, John has good reviews. He says it's awesome. I don't know.
Yeah, John's got a hell of an apartment too. He doesn't live in a New York slum.
I mean, I don't know. I've lived in at least 2 places that I would consider a slum, and it was honestly one of the coolest. Like the neighbors were great. I had no issues. There were
you're gonna get stabbed in New York. Like that's a different kind of slum.
Oh no, there were shootings, and you could hear crime happening and like helicopters flying around and stuff, looking for people that were doing bad. But I just never had. I was never, in spite of all that, I never was like afraid because my neighbors were cool. And as long as you're like a decent human being, I don't know. Maybe I'm too naive. Maybe I haven't lived in a real slum. That could be it.
I still remember the apartment that you
Sector
rented.
6 or something,
Do you remember I'm sure you do, obviously, because you lived there, but the apartment that you rented in Virginia when you went up there to do Siemens.
And I was
had
in
like
DC.
It was DC. Yeah, but it was literally a wild view out of the window or some shit.
Oh, well, that was a basement. Yeah.
You were in a basement?
Yeah, I rented someone's basement, man.
I didn't realize you rented a basement.
Yeah. It was legit. It was that was one of the most pain in the asses places that I lived because it was a really nice neighborhood in an HOA, and I'll never live anywhere within a homeowners association.
No,
it's like, here, you can buy and own this house. However,
you are not allowed to enjoy
an entirely separate constitution that applies to your personal property. We couldn't park a car in the driveway if it had a company name on it because they didn't want to be seen as a place that blue collar workers live because that was below them.
Wow,
it was just it was not my kind of people. You know what I mean?
At all. I feel like you would have got done with that. Well, I mean, you did get done with that real quick.
Yeah. So no, that was
Huh.
an interesting spot. But anyway, that's the answer. It passed. It was proposed. It was voted on. It passed, and then it was implemented. We thought it was implemented, and it looks like we got to go do one more pass to bring in the ones that we missed.
I guess I better go see what I'm subscribed to now.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do this morning. Yeah, we
Oh,
missed a bunch of them. Unfortunately, I was hoping to have them all already. It looks like Alpson's is going through and adding tags, so that's good.
I was on my way into the store here this morning, and I was listening to the news as one does. Have you heard about the shit going down at the zoo in Dallas?
The Dallas Zoo? No.
Yeah.
What's going on at the Dallas Zoo?
Apparently, get this. Okay. There's been a string of wild circumstances with like animals turning up missing. So they just found 2 monkeys this morning that had been just taken and brought to a random house, I guess, and just left there for a couple hours. So the cage that they were in had been like cut open, and they took the monkeys out. A few weeks back, a clouded leopard, and I quote, went missing for several hours. And they alerted like a non-emergency, like, oh, it's not a dangerous animal, which I'm not going to lie. I feel like a clouded leopard might be slightly dangerous, just a little bit. But it just, I guess, was found back in its cage, totally unharmed.
It just went home?
No, it got put back.
Okay. Gotcha.
And on top of that, a few weeks earlier, I guess, some like really rare bird turned up dead with this weird like stab wound in it. So somebody is
this is
actively screwing around with the zoo.
That's like, what a weird place to decide you're going to go fuck with. Unless you're like an activist and you're like, let them all out of the cage. I kind of get that. But
yeah, but they just brought him to a house and left him there.
Yeah. I am. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Dead
like
mouse.
Yeah.
Dead mouse. What? Oh, wrong side. Dead mouse. Dead mouse.
Gotcha. Dead Mouse 5? Yeah.
This is what he actually looks like?
This is oh, you haven't seen I Am yet.
What the hell? This is awesome.
Yeah. It reminds me a little bit of.
I gotta tell you something. So we have this domesticated bobcat, and so I took that spotted snow leopard, and our bobcat was in heat, and I thought, hey, why not? Let's create a new species or something.
So
hey, Monsanto does it. Why not? Yeah, make something special. Yeah.
I put it back in the cage after it did its.
If it did its job,
Yeah, that's why it was gone. It took a couple of hours, It had to had to get in the mood first. So
they're coming for me. They're coming.
Well, this is a lovely surprise. It's nice to actually put a face to your voice.
Thanks. So yeah, this is the background.
Displays.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's some ridiculously cool set displays back there. The Indiana Jones hat.
Yeah, how about that? I got my heater back there. Guess what? This is my man cave. I'm actually in the shed. I'm in the shed.
Oh, yeah,
there's a closet.
I have a shed.
I got the heater right here. Can you see the heater?
Yeah.
Like this nice, just it looks like an old fan.
Yeah, it's one of those what I don't know. It's those metabolic heat shield thing or whatever.
Yeah, it's magic.
I don't know what it's called.
That's badass.
Parabolic. It's cool.
Parabolic.
Yeah, you know what? It's feels like 28 degrees outside. I'm late because we had our Japanese elm. And they kind of grow like this, and we have a lot of trees in the backyard and in the back area back there too. And so they fight for sun. So it's growing like this, and with the rain and the ice, it was too much, and a big limb fell down. And
how's the weather?
Yeah, it's like no school for the kids for the last 2 days, and they're wimps. These bus drivers are wimps. Get on the road, come on. Get that sliding going on.
Perfect opportunity to do some drifting. I mean, and it's sanctioned because you'll be fine. You were saving the kids.
And so anyway, the day before it was that night was minus 13.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
As a Florida boy, that doesn't compute.
You, I think I literally just heard another branch fall.
Oh yeah. It got down into the high 30s here in sunny Florida. It got into the 20s while we were gone. Like we had like a week in the 20s. But I missed all of that.
Negatives. I thought it was cold when we were in New York and it was in the 30s, but my God, like negative 13. I wouldn't leave for any reason. I'd build a fire
it's all
in
right.
my house if I had to. Like, I'm not built for that. There's nothing to this.
My German Shepherd's like, no, I'll go out and pee, and that's it.
Absolutely not.
He's all, I don't know. We call it fee fee fee. I don't know, but it's like if the grass is wet, he's like, yeah, all right, I'll do my business. I went back inside.
He knows what he likes. He likes to stay clean. That's a good, cleanly dog.
He is.
It's better than dogs that run outside and are like, I'm going to go roll in some dead stuff for fun.
Yeah, dead mouse.
Oh my
No,
God.
wrong side.
Other side.
Dead mouse.
Oh my God. So what's on our agenda for this morning? I haven't even checked.
I was going to go through, I was talking about his shed, and I was hoping to find, is this it? This is not it. I had a shed designed for me.
Oh my God.
Is this it?
So cool.
I found it.
Okay. If the shed is badass.
Yeah. All right. So here's my dream shed. I commissioned, I paid an artist who is also a carpenter to design to scale with a parts list and everything. And Hyro and Juicy J, you guys will like this as people involved with like building and stuff like that. So let's bring this up real quick. So this was built. This was made in SketchUp out of a container, right?
Prepper.
Yeah. So I gave him a few like ideas to run with and said, I want this, this, and this, but otherwise, like, do what you want. So I told him I wanted to have like a podcasting station, and I wanted to have one of those like a bed that goes up into the wall, so like for space saving if I wanted to crash there. And then I also wanted to partition off part of it to make a server space so I can run like maybe miners or service nodes or my crypto shit, so that I can just hook up to this thing and it's a mobile like it makes money for me, it produces stuff for me, it's a place to play video games and crash, that kind of
Jackie
thing.
ever leaves me,
I love
I'm gonna use this thing for my place to sleep if Jackie ever leaves me.
So I paid him in Divi, and he made this. So let's play it. It's got a little animated, it'll zoom in and show you all the things. So he's got it to where it can explode out to show all the parts. And like I said, it's all to scale to where you could actually order the parts list to have it built. So one of these days, I'll pay him to come back and build it. So there's the walls to the container coming out just to show the layers and stuff.
Cool.
And I told him I'm really into No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk 2077. So I was like, give me some kind of, that
I
kind of
want
vibe.
a spaceship in my office.
So there's the door you walk in. You've got on the right, there's the TV there on the right. In the middle, you have the desk and stuff, right? And then that on the wall over there is whatever you call that style of bed that folds up into it. So it comes out.
And above the door is the split AC unit.
Yes, it is. Yep. Split unit AC above the door. And on the left, you can see there's 2 server racks.
With a porthole.
Yeah, with a porthole. So that's where the doors open.
Access them from the outside then?
Yeah, from the outside or the porthole. There's a little crawl space slide through the bottom. See the little square?
There it is.
Yeah.
Just so if something's going wrong, you can pull a Star Trek and go through a Jeffries tube.
So it's isolated from the main air conditioning space because it'll create heat.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, there's the door I can slide in for maintenance there without having to go outside to get into it. And then those glass doors also open in the front, so I could pull the racks out. So there's my fold-out tool.
I forgot
compartment.
that did that.
That's cool.
Little fold-out tool bench, workbench there. There's a desk, for meetings and drinks or whatever.
Wait, what if we just put this on the back of a truck like they're intended?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Never came home again.
Yeah, and that's a spot for either a mini fridge or a safe there in the bottom left.
Cool.
The TV flips around both ways, so you can put it in here or put it in there, right? And then here's I'm tired and I don't like I want to go to bed, but I don't want to sleep outside. So
That's so awesome.
Here's the bed that comes down. It's a tight space, so you need space saving.
Murphy
bed. That's the name of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to have your nightstand. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Also, can I point out that the way those nightstands fold down, this is the most like Star Trek shit I've ever seen.
You know, the guy that made this has a Star Trek tattoo on his forearm.
Does he really? Who?
I'm a doctor, Jim, not an architect.
Oh my god, he
Definitely.
said so. DeForest Kelly is one of my favorite actors. But who did this?
My buddy Blake.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if that was who it was.
Yeah, my buddy
So
Blake
cool.
wrote this up. So yeah,
like
I think
Blake.
that's
Blake's
the full ale. Yeah, the split unit up there, and then yeah, ready to roll. And then if I need to bug out, I can just hook up to a truck and pull it somewhere else. You know.
Yeah, you just exist somewhere off the grid. I like how I say we, and if I'm even remotely.
Yeah.
If the world comes to an end, I know Dave is abandoning ship and just saving him.
Well, right now it's still, virtual. It's still theoretical.
It's his arc.
Yes, this. Oh my god, have you seen the giant underground bus like building that the guy built called the Ark?
Yeah.
He took a bunch
Lots
of school buses.
Lots of buses.
Good use for some old buses. I'll give him points for that. And it's got a very like retro future vibe.
Are you getting a divorce? No, I just like to watch movies and play video games really loud. And there's a difference of opinion with my wife. She doesn't like the loud things. So that's why I appreciate the shed that I am is in, because you can go out there and you can be loud.
That being said, I don't think Dave and Tina could split if they tried.
Together forever. Ever.
You're in that shell, you're in that container, you're being contained, and the sounds are being contained.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a box she can put him in, so she doesn't have to listen to him. That's what it really is.
The bed's big enough for two, and there's 2 chairs in there.
Yeah, you and Daedra.
We can, and Daedra can come too. Yeah. Oh, nice. one thing I want to show off real quick. A denizen sent me an invite. This thing is in it's an AI, kind of like a chat GPT implementation kind of thing. It's right now it's in private beta, and I haven't heard of it since before yesterday or whatever, right? But it's got a bunch of specific things you can do. It's for publishing and writing and stuff mostly. Create documents. It helps you. It's like a Clippy, Microsoft Clippy.
Can we make an Amazon product?
But yeah, there's Amazon product features with bullet points. There's blog post outlines. You can get it to help you write email subject lines. You can get it to help you write a tweet that will go, has more of a chance to go viral, kind of thing.
Wow.
A personal LinkedIn post. There's a bunch of specific like applications where you can build a particular thing. And I thought it was pretty cool. So shout out to Jounce.
So
cool.
So look, this is, I think we've discussed this before, but like, this is cool. This is
Tweet
one
machine,
of the coolest
compose
things.
Tweets that are likely to go viral on Twitter.
Like, this is one of the coolest things that we've got, like the ability to have a computer write something engaging, right?
Yeah.
But
so the question is
dystopian.
It's
dystopian and terrifying.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
This is awful. I hate this.
I've accepted.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I've accepted that though. I've decided that we do basically live now in a William Gibson novel or a Neil Stephenson novel, and it's just the way it is now.
I see that.
Yeah.
It's entirely your fault.
No.
No.
So I haven't tried out the tweet machine, but I'll give that a run real quick. You can type in, what is it about, and then give it a tone of voice, kind of thing. So let's write a tweet about dystopian society. That's what we were just talking about, right?
Please, yes. I like how you said you're so concerned that you just came up with dystopian society out of the blue that you're like, we were just talking about that, right?
Yeah. What is your tweet about? Dystopian society and how to live in it. Right. Tone of voice. Yeah, we'll go with funny.
Menacing.
Menacing. Yeah. Generate. What does that do? Okay. Living in a dystopian society isn't all bad. Just make sure you have a good supply of tinfoil hats just in case. Dystopian living. Tinfoil hats.
Wrong. Failure.
I mean, it's a computer. And we already decided,
menacing.
I don't know if you were here when we did with John, we did attempts at humor with Chat GPT, and it doesn't do humor very well. Right? So let's do something more lightweight. Let's do a tweet about home renovation.
Classified documents.
Is that how you spell renovation? No.
No,
What
but the
did you
internet
say?
will fix it.
Home
What did you say, Gravity
renovation.
Crab, about documents?
I said classified documents. You said let's make it less heavy.
Yeah,
That
home
appears to
renovation.
not matter for shit. So,
And instead of
There were
funny,
only 3 pages. That's less heavy.
oh my god,
tone of voice, inspiring.
home renovation. I love it. Dave is trying to come up with something so nice and wonderful.
Yeah. Let's go with it. All right. Thinking about it. Oh, it's thinking.
Yeah, it's thinking hard.
Renovating your home in New York just got easier. Take advantage of the amazing resources available to help you make your dream home a reality.
See,
Hashtag home thesis.
I feel like I would not know that was a generated post.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't think I would either.
Yeah,
like a
if you
PR
stay away
guy
from
wrote that.
humor, it does a lot better job.
Actually, I could see somebody who's just particularly not that funny posting the other thing. It's just like,
then you meet them in real life and they're just as dry.
as dry as can be. It's like Buzz Killington.
Yeah. I played with
A company bio. Let's
yeah,
pick our
company
company
bio. You know what? A buddy of mine, Chris, he said he used ChatGPT, just testing it out, and he gave it some parameters and said, write a business plan for my new business. And he said, dude, no shit, that's my business plan. Like, not even joking. Like, I had to make some tweaks and stuff, but he was like, that's my business plan now. It was fucking on point. So I was like,
that's one of the things that I could see this being an actual useful tool to like get people going where they're trying to get to, essentially. But then we lose the capacity to do that ourselves.
Yeah.
My hunch is we're going to do all this dystopian stuff as a joke, and we're really training this AI.
Yeah.
Turn us into a true dystopian world. That's what worries.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Could be. I told it to so it's got I'll do one or two more. Here's one I did yesterday, the first test. Guess why it says test? I didn't know how it worked yet. But this was one to write a conclusion to a blog post. And so it says, give me an outline. So I gave it a blog. I made up a blog outline with like 3 sentences and said, okay, give me a good conclusion to wrap it up. And it says, in conclusion, it is essential to be mindful of the fact that you will likely be wrong in your assumptions and beliefs. To challenge the status quo, it is necessary to form your own independent opinions and to question what is accepted as truth. Take action and become part of the movement to break away from complacency and apathy. Don't be afraid to stand out and challenge the world around you.
All right, robot, look.
I was like, all right, okay, dude.
All right, maybe me and the robot can talk for a few minutes. I mean, that was a pretty that was a pretty well thought out thing.
I'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, it was
Even the robot knows it's dystopian. I mean, come on.
Well, I was actually making it say shit like that. I was feeding it prompts.
Still, that was still came up with some pretty good shit.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Do you work in sales? It can help you write personalized cold emails for sales pitches.
Cold email. That's
terrifying. Like, I don't know you, but buy my product. That kind of thing.
Please purchase this. We used to do that when I worked at Sandy's. There's a consignment store here in town. That's a very nice consignment shop. It's this huge 15,000 square foot place. Love it. Owner is great, but she did the cold emails thing. So we had like a mailing list, and you could see the percentage of people that opened them versus the people that deleted them. And it was like 0.03 opened them versus deleting them. Ooh, an SR-71?
Yeah. I was thinking,
one of my highlights in my life is I've touched one. I actually touched one. Yeah, in San Antonio at one of the Air Force bases, if you're allowed in or you have somebody that can get you in, they have a lot of old aircraft that are parked, and that's one of them that's been retired, and it's in a park. And so you can walk around, and there's plaques along the park, along the path of all the Medal of Honor, recipients and their story, which is great. But anyway, they have an SR-71 there, and I could touch it. I touched it. It was just.
See, now
I've seen them.
It was like one of my moments in life that I'll never forget because it's always been my favorite aircraft.
I've always been an aircraft.
Cool.
I've been an aviation nut since I was born, essentially. And I've always loved, like, the F-14. When I saw a Top Gun for the first time, I was like, "That's the coolest freaking plane in the world." So at some point, that's I just want to touch it once. Just want to give it a poke. It's just gonna be like a long distance touch. It's fine, but Or just
It is
even be
cool.
in the same room as one, or
It's kind of like
This-
shopping. When you go shopping, you want to touch it before you buy it.
yeah, like I wanted. That's why I've never been a huge fan of buying stuff online. Hence why I work for a small computer store. Like I like to go and touch things to make sure that I like them before I go home with them. Which
That's
that's
how
going
I-
to get taken out of context.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say I was going to talk about my wife there for a
That's
minute.
gonna get taken out of context.
No.
This is where that came from. Jay Sidmeyer's been posting in history about some interesting stuff, and this Russian
Yeah.
fighter came up. It looks funny with the backwards wings thing.
There was,
And
man.
we were talking about
Yeah.
that a little bit, and I said one of my favorites, was the Blackbird.
Man.
And he
that's
said there was an interceptor variant too, which I didn't know about. So
Really?
he was like, "Let me go post about that," and then he delivered. He posted about
See,
it.
when I looked at that airplane with the wings that are forward facing,
Yeah.
I thought it was inspired by Superman, DC Comics.
It looks like the wings are way too far back for the center of gravity, but I imagine it's probably engineered well.
So that
They know what they're
plane-
doing. It's
I-
flying in the photo, so it must work.
They
I-
balance it with obese pilots.
Yeah. On the
Oh,
other
That
end.
was bad. That was
There are no obese pilots in Russia.
Well, no, it's too far back, not too far forward. So the obesity would be in the tanks. It's got heavy tanks.
No, I'm talking about the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want an obese pilot though, because it's
I wanna
already the
fly
wings are already
that.
way back here.
So it
you
does
want
the
less
same
weight in
kind
the
of
front.
thing. I know I'm pointing at a screen and nobody can see it, but just
Yeah.
No, I do the same thing.
the small wings in the front. So there's
Yeah.
also, there's another plane.
Canards.
Yeah, the Canards. There's a Typhoon aircraft that has a very small wingspan that has the front canards that it just helps a lot with the lift. I don't know how better to
Canards?
Yeah,
What's a
canards.
canard?
That's what the front.
Oh, okay.
Boys
Oh, this
are-
fella here. You talking about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
All right.
That's most of its navigation is done by these front boys.
Yeah. This one looks like it was made for a low budget TV show though.
That's like the Eurofighter. That's like popular in France, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
That
Oh yeah,
Delta
it
wing?
is a French aircraft.
Cool.
It is gorgeous though, ain't it?
Mhm.
So let's see
We
what my
have an
feed looks
aircraft
like.
Layer. We need an aircraft layer.
Let's see what people have been. I'm gonna sort by
one quick
popular.
comment on Den.
Yeah.
In Joe's weekly, the Tuesday show,
Yeah.
AMA,
Yeah.
I thought he did a really good job with the elevator pitch.
Oh yeah.
I had
he
posted that.
qualified it,
Give us
and then
if there was a room full of denizen or people that had never heard of Den but wanted to learn about Den. Give
Mhm.
us your 30-minute or 2-minute elevator pitch. And no, it wasn't like you didn't do it as a salesperson,
Mhm.
but he did a really good job describing what Den is and what's so special about it. I really liked it. So
I should
kudos
probably
to
go
Dell
buy
for that. It's good.
Yeah,
I recommend everyone watch it.
We should
yeah.
clip that.
In
if it's awesome.
in the show notes for today's post, there's a link to it. In fact, so go
Oh.
do that. Yeah, I
With
try
that
to
one
add. I
section,
try to
right?
add reminders and stuff in there.
I'll be right back. I'm going to drop out for a moment.
All right, go do it. So here's what is popular this morning on Den. We got some views from Roy. Thank you, Roy. I don't know where he's at. Maybe he didn't want to dox himself. But that's cool. If you're afraid of the water, you got other water. I always thought it was interesting when there's a swimming pool next to a lake, and I'm like,
You're
dude,
not
you've got
showing-
one right there. Oh,
You
I'm not
guys showed on
showing
the
it.
screen.
Well, you're right about that.
There you go.
Yeah, I always think it's interesting when there's a swimming pool next to a lake. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah.
if that water's not good enough for you, here's some with chlorine and other shit in it.
Oh gosh, those UFOs in the sky there. Do you see that?
Yeah.
UFOs.
Oh yeah.
UFOs.
Look at that.
UFOs.
No, it's actually
I
one
know.
big one. You've seen the triangle ones, right? There's
Oh,
some that are-
yeah.
yeah. That's what it is. It's actually
Reflection of lights inside.
no,
lights.
it's cloaked is why you see. It looks like you can see through it. But the engines you can't cloak them because of the energy coming out of them. So all you see is 3 dots. That's what really happens.
I think that's what he's taking a picture of. Is the UFO?
Now I'm gonna. Yeah, well, he's got to disguise what he's taking a picture of. Otherwise, they'll come get his camera.
Yeah.
So Roy, I'm gonna give you about like 34 energy on that. I think I'll give you. It's original, so I'll give you 144. Now I would have given a lot more if it was more than just I'm trying not to be an asshole because those are actually good pictures and stuff. But some of these
Yeah,
posts
they
I have,
are.
I would not downvote that one. But some of these I'm going to start downvoting just because, like, all right, after a while you got to do a little bit more than that, you know.
Row.
Um,
If
this
you're
is cool.
downvoting, I'm changing my hat.
No, not Roy's.
I'm just kidding.
Your hat. You ever watched Firefly? The show
Yeah.
Firefly.
I've seen it.
Jane wears a hat similar to that in
Mhm.
Firefly, and that show does have sort of a not Indiana Jones, but sort of a Western vibe to it for a space show.
Well, about 8 years ago, my son turned me on to Dead Mouse. I really like Dead Mouse, and then for Christmas one year, he got me this hat.
Nice.
And
nice.
everyone's like, "Oh, you can't wear that." I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wear it."
What? Because you're too old for a Dead Mouse hat? Is that what it is?
Yeah, too old for Dead Mouse and too old for a hat like this. It's
That's
like, no, this
ageism.
is
You're
awesome,
ageist.
man.
You know.
I'm described often as evergreen young.
Evergreen. Yeah.
Young. Yep.
The food layer always has some good posts, man, because people typically write up like
Yeah.
how it's made and what, you know, that kind of stuff. I like to see that kind of stuff. So usually I'll give that quite a bit more. Right.
It's a nice cold day. My wife is making a roasted cauliflower soup. It may not sound good to others, but oh my gosh, it's good. Can't wait.
Is this American?
Can't wait.
Yeah, I guess so. Is that American food? I guess if it's made in America, it was American.
America.
Sure, I'll
I
say
don't
it's
know.
American.
I know.
OP says
Well,
it's
is
American.
It Italian?
I'll go with it.
Is it Italian?
Well, if it's made in America, man.
I didn't click on that medallion. Check chicken. From the
So here-
image, at first it looked kind of freaky to me. You know, the first thing I saw was like an ant with legs.
Oh, they're coming out with a new Ant-Man. You see that? They're getting down to the quantum level. Speaking of ants.
Oh,
I guess I can see an ant if it's small. Yeah. You know what this looks like is what did he say it was? What medallions? Chicken medallions. Chicken
Oh,
medallions? I guess it's chicken.
mushroom medallion?
I thought it was these potato balls that I found in Germany. You know, they make these potato balls. They're different than I ever had them. You ever so they like make these how do I explain it? They're like mashed potatoes that aren't mashed.
Yeah, I actually I grew up in a German home, so
yeah, gotcha. So it's like they put them, and sometimes they'll put them around like a ball of meat or a ball of something, you know. But they somehow like get the moisture out of them, and then they're shaved potatoes, and they smush them together into a ball while it's still raw potato. And then when they cook them, it binds together and it makes it almost hard again, like soft, but not mashed anymore. Basically, back into a potato with stuff in the middle. That's what I thought those were at first. But yeah, I'll give you like a 1 energy up on that one in a network error.
Ruh-roh.
Did you? Yeah. Well.
Oh, I laughed out. So I had to show
this one here, man. This one cracked me up.
It busted
for anybody,
me up, I could relate. I could relate to that.
Yeah. We might have had an issue on Den just now. Let me try to log back in. So we this is something we'll bring up tomorrow. But while I'm having this issue, it's a good place to mention it. We're gonna have to. I think we have the plan together, but basically everyone's gonna have to change their password. Is the end result? Yeah, I can't.
Password changes.
Yeah.
I wonder if that is related to my issues because I'm still having to use Tor, and with Tor I can't watch videos on Den.
Oh, you're having to use Tor just to get in?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's still like it's like a ghost login somewhere that isn't getting cleared, no matter if I switch to computer or laptop or I switch internet providers, and because I have 2 different internet providers in our home.
Why?
I wonder if it's.
I could tell you, but
yeah, I wonder.
Whenever somebody goes,
about.
that usually just means don't.
I wonder if that has anything to do with
Did you do the end
like
of the month?
being logged in on 2 different IP addresses or something. I don't know.
yeah, and then I have a VPN and another VPN. So
Do you ever
A lot of VPN.
like piggyback VPNs off of each other just so there's extra hops and shit like that?
Like that yet?
I've
done
done
that
it
before.
within one. Yeah,
Yeah.
it sure slows you down, but
Oh, it does for sure.
Mhm.
I a guy I used to know, he would have a VPN on his router, like for his whole home VPN. And then on his computer, he would have another VPN just for his computer. So you'd exit out of one and then go into a different VPN. And then on his computer that was already on a VPN, he would have a virtual machine. And in the virtual machine, he would be on a VPN, and then he would use Tor. And I was just like, bro, you could just go to a coffee shop and you're not, you know what I mean? And then you're not, like at home anymore.
That's funny.
But yeah, so Den's got a little bit of jank in its tank this week. Y'all might have noticed. Yesterday, the avatar images weren't showing up because we're still moving stuff. I know a while back, Dragon Chain put out that there was a migration of infrastructure. And some of that was left in place just because like Den was using some stuff that we didn't feel like moving yet and stuff like that. So the rest of that is what's ongoing right now. And so like where the images were hosted was migrating yesterday. So everybody's images, avatars and stuff weren't working for a while. We're going to have to, we're abandoning what we were using for managing account sessions and logins and stuff like that. And it's been giving us trouble for a long time anyway. So it's about time to pull the Band-Aid off and do it in a way that really the point is that there's an actual customer that is going to be helping us implement Dragon Factor, like MiFi kind of thing. So to get ready for that, we have to use a different system for handling accounts and stuff. But that'll be cool because then it can go right into Factor. It can go right into using Factor on Den. But let me see if I can log in again. I gave it some time. And we'll see if it's back.
No worries.
Did you unbreak the broken thing?
No, I was just explaining why I think it's having an issue at the moment.
So Gravity Crack.
It's back.
While he's doing that, real quick on my background, I like Indiana Jones and I can relate to his character just because he was, not that I'm a professor, but he's a professor, smart, independent, an explorer.
Hated snakes.
Smart, hated snakes. That's me too. And being in Texas, that's difficult. But anyway,
everything there wants to kill you.
It's right. It's not as bad as Australia, but
Australia, yeah.
So anyway, that was the idea behind it.
I dig it. I like it a lot.
Different things like my kettle drum from Trinidad, and then I got a Japanese file cabinet from Japan.
Yeah, you got the Trinidad kettle. What did you call that? Did you call it?
It's a metal drum, a kettle drum from Trinidad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cigar box up here. It's like up there. I don't know if you see that.
I did. Yeah. I did. Now, can you crack the bowl up? I mean, don't do it here, but
yeah, I've done it. It's funny because I got that from a former employee. He had brought that to me from Mexico.
Oh, that's awesome.
He says, "Boss, I got a perfect present for you to whip things into shape."
Of course,
I had it hung in my office for years. It's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I've gotten kind of cut by it too by accident on my leg.
Well, I mean, that's part of it.
You got to learn somehow, right?
Are you watching it? Is this a guy who's
this great?
No, this is the humor. Meme. This is the humor Lair. This was great. I thought it was the best post yesterday.
He was casting something.
No, he's trying to pull two 5-gallon buckets apart.
I thought he was trying to cast something.
Oh, my wife and I were cracking up when we were looking at that this morning.
Thor's hammer and then the sword and the stone. Yeah.
I can so relate to it.
Tomorrow is going to be interesting with weaponizing blockchains. Oh, no, it's doing it again.
Yeah, I suggested it. Oh, bummer.
Yeah, that's going to be...
I'm excited about that one, but I haven't even asked the question yet.
Well, you can't right now because Den just went down again. Let me just check. internal
yeah, there's
internal
blocked
chats here and
content.
see what's up.
Who do I have blocked?
Looks like I might be hosting tomorrow. Let's see here.
I have somebody
Also,
blocked.
Den is up.
Yeah,
and
change that.
down.
There we go.
Apparently,
Oh yeah, things are very broken.
it happens. We'll see what happens. I just sent a note, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, so weaponizing blockchain, that's an interesting one because people think of weapons as like offensive things, right? Not well, offensive and offensive, but like something that you would use to attack somebody with.
Right.
I grew up differently, and I see them as a defensive thing. You know what I mean? Just being growing up as somebody who like had a rifle when he was like 6 years old, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Gun safety and hunting and fishing and defense and stuff like that. And then joining the Navy as well. Most of the weapons that we had were defensive, except for the one that I worked on. I had the only like purely offense weapon on the ship, the Tomahawk cruise missile. And so yeah, that's where I'm going to come from tomorrow is weaponization, but like in a defensive, as a defensive weapon, you know, kind of thing, because blockchain and cryptography combined, cryptography works. It's free. It's easier and easier to use all the time. And it is, it's the most accessible leveler of the play field that we have. Right. So that'll be interesting. I'll try to see what else comes along. You think you want to swing by tomorrow, or what do you think?
Oh, for me to be on the show?
I don't see why not.
Sure,
if you wanted to.
Sure. I'd be happy to. I'd be honored.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime. Definitely. I think you everybody appreciated, you know, your input last time, and like, I mean, I personally invite you back, so I don't care what anybody else says. You're my guest.
What are you inviting him to?
The World Blockchain Roundtable tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Especially since it was a topic that you proposed.
An expert.
Somewhat of an expert on your field, indeed, sir.
Unfortunately, John's proposal for what was your
restaurants
blockchain
and blockchain
game
restaurants
show.
And game show.
And game show.
Yeah, the game show.
See, I feel like you could do like you could pretty much do any type of game show like with this in this way.
Oh, yeah.
So he's making one for real.
Classic Concentration.
No, he's making a game show for real. We demoed it last night a little bit.
It looks good.
How did
The
that
images
go,
he's got.
As I was here and busy and just went home and went to bed for the most part.
No, it was good. There's a so like there's this website where you can do buzzers, right? So everybody goes to, like, opens up the link in their browser, and you have a buzzer, and then the host can enable or disable it, and then everybody gets to see who buzzed in first.
Hey, so if there's like how Jackbox works.
Cool.
Yeah, so if there's like a question like Jeopardy or something, you know what I mean? Then whoever buzzes in first gets to answer it, that kind of thing.
We do that. We like to play a lot of board games and stuff as a family. And we have that one where everyone uses their phone, and the game is on the TV, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's Jackbox, right?
Yes. Oh, it's a lot of fun.
Every once in a while, Jackie and I, my wife, will get like a text from one of our friends. It's like, hey, we're playing Jackbox. You want to just jump in really quick? So like, we're not even in the same room or the same house or town.
Yeah.
We're just like pushing a button and doing that.
So when you were mentioning that, that's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like that. The
yeah, buzzer. It is kind of like that. Yeah, there was more. You know, John's a funny guy, and he tries to throw surprises at people. Yeah. You know, so he threw in a couple of things like that we weren't prepared for. It was good. He's
a funny bastard.
I think what he's trying to put together is like a 20-minute show, right? Like pretty straightforward. And then what we've got to figure out is if we want to tie in, because you know his topic suggestion was blockchain game show. What would your blockchain game show be like? And it could be as simple as just questions, you know, topics, trivia. Games that relate, trivia, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Or it could be something like where now you'd have to add some more production to it, but you could tie in blockchain in some way.
Mhm.
I'm imagining like, the provably fair thing. Like you could roll dice, and then whoever gets the number that's closest to the the last digit in the next Ethereum block hash wins, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's both random and unpredictable, in two different ways. So and it's a game show, so you can just do gimmicks out the wazoo all you want, and it makes it fun. So, and then of course, prizes,
That'd be fun.
that kind of thing. Well, dang, I guess I don't know, the guy, the dev that was finishing that migration must be up and at it and on it this morning already. I was planning on going through Den posts, but I don't think we're going to be able to today. Oh, it's back again. Let's try it again. All right, let's hurry up before we move something else.
Yes.
So we looked at food. We looked at the airplanes. Let's see what. Let me scroll quickly and see if there's something I didn't normally see that I wasn't subscribed to yesterday. Creature comforts, memes, of course. I'm kind of subscribed to everything though, so I'm probably not.
I am too. Well, of course that passed, right? That proposal passed.
Yeah, it passed, and we implemented it.
Agenda later.
No, we implemented it yesterday, but it only hit like half of the layers that we wanted. So we got to go through. I know why, but we have to go through and get the other ones. There was a labeling issue. They weren't all labeled as LCP, even though they were, kind of thing. Here's a better account. This is our other account. That was a business account. So we'll use that one since it's like not mine and it isn't auto subscribed to everything. So let's see what that account sees. Basically the same thing I was seeing, because now it's subscribed to everything. So we got somebody's cat. We got some trading lounge stuff. We've got a Skrillex song. If you like Deadmau5, I don't know if you are into Skrillex.
Oh yeah, I like Skrillex.
Yeah. This is Damian Marley, who gets around a lot and does a lot of collaborations and festivals. I've seen him at a couple of festivals that I've been to. There's the views again that we looked at. Quick and easy lasagna. I'm going to downvote it.
I would do.
It's because that's all it is a video.
It's quick and easy lasagna and a video that somebody else made.
Right.
It's like, all right, sorry, but I'm going to predict that because the Creature Comforts layer is full of so many like legitimately good original posts, they're going to be like, this is not like, try harder kind of thing. Cool. I won't take the time at the moment to leave a comment, but I just wanted to show that you can downvote stuff and it's okay. What is this? 9 hours ago. Ripple wins new partner country. Stablecoin pilot project. A southeastern European nation, Montenegro, has announced a partnership with Ripple in a statement that initially went unnoticed in the cryptocurrency community. On January 18th, so just a few days ago, the Prime Minister tweeted about the pilot program with Ripple. Interesting. So the Prime Minister posted on social media with CEO Brad Garlinghouse.
There you go. Keep reading.
Interesting.
That's ugly. Central bank engagement.
Yeah.
So they're going to help them with the CBDC.
I figured that was what was going to happen. Yeah, I figured as much, because
that's why I don't trust Ripple.
It's made for banking. That's what it's.
I know.
That's kind of what it's for.
Banksters, damn banksters.
Yeah. I saw like this is a long time ago, but it was like a bunch of the different like big blockchain projects, cryptocurrency projects at the time, and it was using Bitcoin as the the base, and then everything was Bitcoin but this or Bitcoin but that, and Ripple's was Bitcoin but the banks should own it.
In my fear index, I would put CBDCs as a 9.8, and AI, I would put it as a 5 or 6, just because it hasn't developed enough yet.
Not developed enough to be as terrifying as the bank.
Yeah.
The thing that I just had two thoughts at the same time. That was confusing. One of them was about CBDCs, and I was going to ask if it mattered whether it was Ripple or JP Morgan that made that made it happen. And then the other one was it's gone now. What were you just talking about?
Evil.
AI. My thing
AI.
about AI is I love AI and the potential applications of AI as a tool and as something that's just really interesting, and fascinating.
Well, from
what
an
scares
actual
me about
computing standpoint, it's incredible.
Yeah, what scares me about AI is that it doesn't actually have actual intelligence, at least
or
not
a moral compass.
At least not yet. And if it ever gets to the point where it has a moral compass, or it has, like if AI gets to the point where it has rights and we rename it to alternative intelligence because that's less offensive or something, before we get to that point,
sentient, then at that point we've deemed it sentient.
If it's sentient. Before it becomes sentient, though, we're going to have very close, almost indistinguishably similar technologies that are almost sentient but not.
So that's
what scares me, is it's not quite like a person yet that can like be as thoughtful as my dog about not killing me, for example.
Well, think about this real quick.
Think of what's also terrifying is AI creating deep fakes to kind of herd us into a way of thinking, that would perpetuate AI and not the human race.
So the one slight thing with AI that everybody, so with that, right? In order for it to do that, it still has to have some kind of human direction, right? So there's one chunk of magic that just doesn't work in the AI stuff yet, and that's the internal model of reality. So as human beings, we haven't, I'm able to say this is a coffee mug. I am aware it's here. It exists, right? We can agree on that for the most part, unless you want to get real philosophical.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, it exists. A computer knows it's there, but it doesn't know it exists because it doesn't understand the concept of existence. So they're never really
to exist.
Yeah, they're never really going to hit a point where they can say like, "Oh, I think these people are doing something not good and morally wrong, so I should, stop it, or I should shovel some stuff around in the background to make them look at certain things." It still has to have the human element aspect of it. So until they get to a point where where an AI can generally say, "This is real, I am real, I exist," we won't hit that point.
Well,
it's possible that that's not possible.
Well, my point is that we're going to get to the point where an AI will say that in a convincing way.
Yes.
Right.
And that's like the deep fake.
Yeah, right. And already we're seeing that with ChatGPT and this new Jounce thing I was looking at.
At what level of convincing can you eventually converse with it until it is unable to communicate?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like I don't know if we're smart enough to identify the difference between an AI that's been programmed to mimic human behavior to the point where it's indistinguishable and it appears to be sentient versus an AI that's actually sentient. How do you make that difference?
At that point where the internal model of reality is the person behind everything, that's terrifying. Like not being able to distinguish between a non-existent thing and an existent thing.
Yeah. People are going to have relationships with AI bots.
Oh
right?
God,
and they already do. But
I like Hyperion.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Hyperion Frequency's idea of
we're a brain in a meat suit.
Yeah, I like that idea because it implies that I might be able to upload my mind or something into a different casing or something one day.
See, do that solely because of the absolute just terrifying fear of death. But on top of that, like I don't know, would I ever upload my brain into a computer, or would I just be like, no, I think I'm good. Like, let me.
It's kind of like, let's get that tested on somebody else first.
I feel the same way about that as I do about teleportation, where you destroy it in one location and you recreate it in another, where the recreated self seems like, oh yeah, it worked. I made it. I went through the teleporter. I have all the memories intact still because you recreated them. But in reality, you've killed yourself.
And you're a different person.
That's
now.
right.
Like
And your
you
clone
are,
is alive.
you're just
You
a
know?
blob of atoms.
It's like the Willy Wonka thing, you know, the TV. What was it? The TV teleporter thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I would love to go have coffee with Hyperion Frequency. I would love to have a conversation with him. He's a deep thinker.
Has he been on the show before?
He's one of my peeps.
I think you might end up on the show one day because he's going to
really
do some.
do that.
He's setting up. He's got some plans to do a show, some interviews, things like that. And you are too. I am right.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So
hence the idea of the background here. Parallel projects. Anything to do with parallel projects that could unseat, alter, change, enhance the legacy systems in life.
While we're on the topic of AI, so Hyperion Frequency says they have to be a self-determining, deterministic system. I like the idea of a system that's allowed to update its own code and then sort of like raised like a human child over the years, you know, to learn and adapt and stuff like that.
Yeah, now you're talking about, remember Commander Data on Next Gen? And he had his child and he had to teach this child all the different...
I forgot he had a kid.
Yeah. Oh, I love that show. God.
Oh, God.
I
Next
love
Generation is the best Star Trek. Absolutely. Through and through.
Without a doubt.
Hey, here's a pretty deep one. Also Hyperion Frequency. Their reason for existing has to be built into itself. That's interesting because I don't think that humans have grasped a reason to exist in, you know,
I'm still
overall.
finding myself.
Yeah.
I feel like we had a reason to exist, and the reason to exist was to continue existing. And now that that's not really that big of a problem, we have no clue what to do.
But wait a minute, that could be just instincts and not internal reasoning as a reason to exist.
Yeah, is your reason to exist?
You're just talking about the instinct to procreate.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, instinct to procreate, instinct to eat. You know what I mean? Instinct to protect, to survive. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Why do you think you exist, Dave?
Oh, man. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. That's like, I'll be straight up. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know if it's enough. I'll give you two things. I don't know if it's enough to just live day to day and watch the birds and be happy. And I also don't know if it's too much to try to find some larger meaning and ambition in life. In other words, if I just look at what's in front of me and accept the world as it is and live and be happy, is that selfish? And at the same time, if I'm always struggling to find meaning and ambition and ways to improve the world and change things, am I just going to drive myself crazy? You know? And so is there maybe somewhere in between that I need to settle? So that's where I'm at.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hit you with that out of the blue. My God.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a great answer, Dave.
I feel inspired.
I remember years and years ago, there was a gentleman that I worked with. He was the manager of operations. I was the manager of the cold storage operation. And it was a big place. Anyway, he and I would have great discussions over lunch. He had a master's degree in theology, highly technical person, and had a diverse knowledge of a lot of different things, very science oriented. So he went down the theological perspective from, intelligent design, okay? Not per se Christianity, Judaism, anything like that. Well, anyway, we would have these ongoing discussions. And he would often talk about the half step of, do you pursue the just the happiness and the feel good? It feels good to just sit out and drink coffee and watch the birds in the morning and listen to them chirp. Mm-hmm. Or do you find that purpose? And the purpose, the half step or the drive is, what do you want your legacy to be? Do you want your legacy to be to have children, and so that your genes progress, hopefully, and make a difference generations from now? or do you want to have a purpose that you today now can affect change in this world that enhances the life of everyone, of in whatever manner, shape, or form, right? So he and I would have these long discussions about that as fast as we could during a lunch meal. But
Oh yeah.
Condensed, shall we say? I that has always stuck with me as far as what do you want your legacy to be? And I guess I'm more on the driven side. And that would also explain why I feel guilty watching a lot of TV. It's hard for me to just sit down and watch TV or a movie anymore, or pick up fiction. I want to read nonfiction.
Feels like you could be doing something more productive.
Yeah.
I go through phases of like I read a lot of nonfiction for a while, but fiction I ended up, I have learned from fiction in a way that nonfiction may not have pushed me to think, kind of thing. Even with like there's some animated TV shows and stuff that I've watched where I've been like, oh shit, that's interesting. Like the notion of a minute ago, I talked about renaming artificial intelligence to alternative intelligence. I got that from a TV show.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because at a certain point, like you get into morals and you get into like, what do you want to be called? I'm no longer artificial. I am an alternative intelligence, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, stuff like that. I get ideas from fiction that are, fictional. And I think it's the reason I'm picky about my science fiction too. Like I'm a sci-fi fan, but I love harder science fiction, less fantasy type thing, less beep boop laser shielding, that kind of thing, and more like what's that show? Amazon bought it, sci-fi recent, The Expanse. The Expanse, I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but it's very reinventing the sci-fi genre in a way that's like, what would it really be like to be an interplanetary species? And in that universe, it's like, it's just Mars and Earth in the belt, in the asteroid belt. It's not too far in the future. But even then, they're like, there's no like magic shields against lasers and stuff. It's like ballistics, and you're putting on your EVA suit if you're in a fight, because you're probably going to get a hull breach, that kind of thing.
Right.
So, yeah.
I had a former business partner, one of the smartest men I ever met, and he would describe himself as a serial entrepreneur, and he would also say he was a recovering attorney.
Yeah.
Because he used to be an attorney, and brilliant mind. And he and I would differ, because I would say, if I'm going to go to a movie, I want the movie to make you think, philosophical reasoning and these kinds of things, beyond just good versus evil. And he would say, no. If I'm going to go to a movie, I want to unplug from everything, pure entertainment, no message, no moral reasoning behind it, just pure entertainment. And we would always argue.
I get that. My wife and I are like that. It's why we have a hard time picking a show to watch together or a movie to watch together or something, because she's at the lab all day crunching her brain, doing like genetics and like gene editing and things like that. She comes home, she's not trying to use her head anymore. She's like, I need a break. Me, I'm trying to be cerebral and watch something that makes me think and makes me question reality and like, oh, this is an interesting idea, So coming together on with that, comedy is a pretty good middle ground for us. We watched a was it Seth Rogen? Anyway, there was what did we just watch? It was really freaking good. Let me just look it up real quick.
Let me say that to that effect. We could probably
not
statistically prove that, because Netflix has different profiles, and your husband and your wife can have different my lists of movies to watch, has prevented divorces in this country.
I like that. You're probably right. There's probably at least some statistical data on that. Somebody's marriage has been saved by having two TVs.
Sorry, I get down
profiles on Netflix.
No, you're fine now. I want to know.
I got to figure out what the hell this was that we just watched on Netflix. It was a comedy. It was a movie. It was
Narrowing
the
it
guy
down.
that just wrote Stets. Here we go. The guy that would. Did you see Stets? Here's a nonfiction. Stets.
Mm-mm.
It was about his shrink. It was about his psychologist, basically.
See now, my wife is
do-do-do-do.
the mental health clinician, so I'm in
What is
constant
this guy's
therapy because I
name?
married one.
Oh my God, that's got to be both useful and sometimes mildly draining.
This
Fucking Jonah Hill. For some reason,
Oh
I
my
thought
God.
I couldn't think of the name Jonah Hill for some reason. He's
Yeah,
got a new film out.
he's actually a really good actor, aside from just
Mhm.
being kind of your standard funny guy in things.
Yeah, see, I'm horrible with names like that. I like if I saw the face, I'd say, "Oh, okay." But Jonah Hill, I don't know.
So yeah, he's got a new film out
Yeah.
called You People. It's a comedy with a lot of social commentary. It's about a white guy and a black girl getting married, and the white family is stereotypically white Jewish family. The black family is like really doesn't like white people and is her dad's Muslim. And so they
Oh,
have like a
God.
Jewish Muslim marriage. It's also it's just like a whole thing. And
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, it had me cracking up the whole time.
It's
It
a
was so
situation that would
fucking
really
funny.
happen too.
Yeah, yeah. And as a white guy who used to live in a black neighborhood, it's spot on too. It's fucking good. Like it's informed. I thought it was really good. So
Oh, that's
I
cool.
recommend checking
Okay.
out You People. It's on Netflix with Jonah Hill. And he also wrote so that's a comedy, and then he also he made a documentary about his psychologist called Stutz, I think it was called. And they just have conversations and talk about mental health and stuff, and it's very, like not so much comedy. It's hard for him to not be funny though. So he's quickly becoming one of my favorite recently. He's got some really, really good stuff. I think he must have gone through a lot of shit and decided he's, got a mission in life in making really good stuff, because he has been doing that. So shout out.
It's a pretty good cover, or a pretty good review. I discovered something interesting recently, and it's from the Harvard University, and I'm going to show it off real quick.
Cool.
Unless we're
Hyperion
rolling
Frequency
into
said he
something
was
else.
in this End of the World movie. Yeah, This Is the End. It's called This Is the End.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that was funny as shit.
It was so funny. Yeah.
It was. I
Wait, no. That wasn't. Was that Jonah Hill?
He was.
That was
in
Seth
it.
Rogen. Was Jonah in it?
I think so. Yeah, pretty much everybody of that like
Fucking everybody.
Hollywood.
You're right. Everybody was in that. Yeah. You're right. It was like everybody call all your friends. We got a movie. It was one of those.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I have a side note. So I got this, thermos mug to keep my coffee warm, right? And I had to top off my cup. And this coffee is really good because it's got a hint of Dawn dish soap.
Oh, perfect. That's the best flavor for coffee.
I don't think this got written very well.
I'm gonna mess with my coworker here really quick. My coworker is a wonderful guy named John, and he consumes some of the strangest things I've ever seen. And what he does is he brings in his coffee and he dumps it in with this like protein shake that he makes in the morning. But this protein shake is like green sludge and other various like things. So we just
like
call
blue
it
green algae is a thing.
Yeah, we just call it the slime.
The slime.
Yeah. So share my screen really quick. I want to
it.
show off something dumb before I do.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
So check this out. So this is from Harvard, the Harvard Education Department, and they are doing a massive scan of a whole bunch of tombs in Giza. So they've got this project that's called Digital Giza, and so you can kind of float around and stuff. Also, side note, I learned these are holes from boats that were buried here and then like robbed. So that's cool. So
it looks. I can see that being a boat hole.
You can click on these guys, right? And then it loads.
Nice loading
I like
screen.
the image while it's loading.
And then you can walk around.
Oh no shit!
In full 3D.
And these are scans or recreations?
Yeah. Oh well, check this out. So it gets way better. So like you can walk around this tomb in full 3D, right? Get a little bit of info, what's on the wall and everything, and then you can hit this button and go from the recreation to the actual like interior.
Oh, dude.
So there's like 4 or 5 of these that are set up this way. You can walk through the pyramid of Khufu.
Yeah.
And it gives you just like little bits of info, and you can say like, oh, what did this probably look like? That's probably what it looked like. That's cool.
Ah,
Oh, awesome.
But it's wild. So they've got
that
a few
is
of these.
cool.
Don't fall in that pit. Don't fall in the pit.
You can
Indiana
fall
Jones
in the pit.
here.
You can dead ass fall in the pit.
I love the slow moon gravity fall.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't want you to die when falling in the pit. Also, this doesn't like to work sometimes. But anyways, it's just a really like so we're in
That's
My
the
pillow
village.
rock.
Yeah.
My pillow rock.
No, they
That's my
left her
pillow
a
rock.
pillow. But yeah, so I guess the sarcophagus was here, and like yeah,
Oh.
it's just badass to me. I thought this was a
That
really
is
cool project.
awesome.
That is actually really cool. Go somewhere else. Leave it up. Go somewhere else. I
Oh,
wanna see
that
it
is
now.
so cool. That is
So-
bad.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go inside.
See that see my background? Indiana
Mhm.
Jones?
Literally, that's what made me think about it was the archaeology aspect.
Where did you
I like-
hear about this? How did you
I was
find this shit?
I was watching a lecture by a guy named Dr. Bob Breyer, who is one of the only people to have mummified somebody in the last 3,000 years. They did it for like
Okay.
experimental archaeology,
Oh,
and he was
I think
talking
I've heard
about
this.
this. And so you can just kind of walk through the whole pyramid of Khufu. It's badass.
This reminds me. I just got done playing the first Dishonored game, and there was you can possess a rat and then use that to sneak into places.
Oh yeah, I forgot you could do all the cool.
That's what
stuff
this
with
reminds
that
me
there.
of, is being a rat walking through tunnels.
Yeah, like you even get your like little map up here.
Yeah, yeah.
If I click up here, does it do anything? I don't know. I haven't really fully explored this. Oh, and you can click this little guy here, and it brings you out. It's not showing that screen because it opens another one, but it'll bring you out to a huge write-up about pretty much everything that has been researched on where you are from the beginning of Egyptology.
You know what I want more
So
than anything.
that's my
now?
spiel. I'm ending my screen. Goodbye.
And I know that Harvard's not
cool.
going to. You said that's Harvard, right?
Yeah, it's Harvard.
Yeah. So Harvard isn't going to do this, but if they could open source it and allow the conspiracy theorists to build on it, I want a version of that.
God.
I want a version of that where you
aliens
go in
build
and
a
you find the
pyramid.
battery like power generation chambers and
With the
you know what I
hydrogen
mean? Like
underneath and
yeah. So whenever you flip back and forth between the how it looks today and then
And
the
how it
rendering of
looked
how
before.
it probably looked before, you get like the tinfoil hat edition of how
that
it
would-
probably looked before. That would be fantastic.
Just
Yeah.
add a
Already.
third layer.
already.
That's
Oh,
what
that
I
would be
want. That's
awesome.
what I want because
Well,
I just love. I don't usually care if it's true or not. I just love the just like the thought that's put into what could it be. You know, what if it's this? What if it's that? And a lot of times, just like for the same, like it's at the very least, it's clever. You know,
Yeah.
maybe offensive sometimes to people like that are from there or something, but clever. You know, in a fictional kind of way. I'm gonna bring John up real quick and see what he has to say about all this.
Hi, period.
Wow.
Frequency
Thanks,
style
Gravity
living.
Crab, for that. Real quick on the Hey, John,
Hi, John.
the artist, the
Hey.
artiste.
What?
We need to see
the
more
man,
of
the
your
myth.
artwork that you used to do here on the Coffee with
Look
Dan.
at his back. I just hate how much I love your backdrop.
Oh yeah. Oh, fuck it.
Don't hate
real
love,
quick,
David.
Gravity Crab. Hey, what do you think of Graham Hancock's Netflix thing? The six. Is this
Have
wild
you
for
seen
me
it,
to bring this
David?
up?
Have you seen Graham Hancock's
I binge
Netflix? Thing?
watched it.
No, what
for
did I
6
miss?
Dude,
Dude,
you're
Is it
gonna
going
hate
to
it.
anger me?
Yeah, it is. Because here's why it's gonna anger you. Because
It's so good.
it's like
Wait,
ancient
are you
aliens.
full of shit, John? Have you
it's
actually seen it?
questioning the paradigm.
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
know what
it's-
the hell they're
it's-
talking about.
It's ancient aliens, except it's not aliens. It's
No.
just saying that shit's been here longer than we thought.
Right.
Which is
God.
like an
Wrong.
easier pill
It's
to swallow.
objectively long.
Yes,
It's
Right.
like
objectively
Randall
long.
Carlson. Randall Carlson has the same way. We just let's relook at the dates of Göbekli Tepe and some others. I encourage you to watch it
Oh, I'm gonna.
with an open
It's
mind.
good. It's good. And have an open mind.
Netflix,
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to Netflix, Graham Hancock, you'll see it.
John, you look tired today, my friend.
I
Yes.
I literally woke up and then came on the show.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, man?
I'm sorry to have dipped on you yesterday.
No, you're good.
I heard it went well.
Dead
though.
mouse.
Well,
Dead
that's
mouse.
good. I'm glad it went well. Yeah, I know. I was just I didn't sleep super great, and then like I didn't set an alarm, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm waking up at 10:20 now. So I was like, oh shit, I forgot there was a show. So here I am
With dog.
with
Yeah.
it. Yeah, and then I've never seen her like maybe once or twice other times, but I've never seen her jump like just like a little hop where she was because she was so excited I was awake.
Aw, she's like,
Yeah.
oh, you didn't die.
Dogs are cool like that a lot of
Yeah.
times. Mine waits for me to wake up and then puts her head on the bed like, hey, I've been waiting for you. Welcome to the world.
Daedra is so freaking cute.
Cool.
Yeah, I felt bad for some reason, so I let her sleep in like the bedroom. She didn't sleep in the bed. She was on the ground. And I forgot that she likes to move sometimes, and when she moves, her like collar will rattle. Like the dog tag on her collar will rattle, and then she'll like shake, as like dogs do, and then it does a great job of keeping me up. But yeah, I'm here now. What were we gonna ask me about?
We were talking about the game show, and I think I was talking about my buddy Blake, who was the artist that made the container, not John. I don't know if you mixed that up or not.
Oh, okay.
That fucking wasn't me. Blake's a maker.
I was showing him. Did I show you that container?
Yeah.
Clubhouse thing.
I'm pretty sure Blake has the maker lair, if I remember correctly.
That's what I was doing.
That's the problem.
That guy.
But that's all right. We have the DIY layer now.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. No, Blake's
God.
Blake's a very good friend of mine. He's one of my closer friends, like that I have. Period. I do get irritated whenever he like goes hard into something, gets people around him to help him go hard into something, and then as soon as he gets what he wants, he's like, "Okay, cool, bye." And that's what happened to the maker layer. Is he had this full like awesome setup with got the maker layer.
Does he know how much
made
we
a fuss
pick on
and
him?
then, huh? Oh,
Does he
I don't
know how
know.
much we pick on him. Poor
I don't
Blake.
know.
It's
No,
great conversation.
because he just got bored of Den and left after he like got us to do shit for him, and I was like, man, come on, what are you doing?
I don't think Blake.
Which is fine, whatever. Do whatever you want to do, But the DIY layer is a result of people being like, wait, I thought we had a maker layer. I guess we'll go make another one, which is the whole point of like you should be able to do that. And in fact, I think we should be able to fork layers to where just the active owners say, hey, we've got too many inactive lot holders here. And if we fork it with just the active lot holders, we'll have a much better layer. That should be an option.
Fork you too.
Speaking of that, I got that idea from Joe, who just chimed into chat too.
Oh, nice.
What's up,
Hey,
Joe?
let's do it. Let's do a virtual cheers.
Yeah, cheers, Joe.
Or,
I'm out of coffee right now, but cheers.
I got a glass left over from yesterday.
There you go. Right, put it in the corner there. We got to click glasses.
Oh yeah, everybody.
Oh, this is weird. All right.
Okay. All right. Everybody's got a clank.
Yeah.
Clank
All right.
closer.
Clank.
I feel like me and him are the only ones that actually got him close.
So hey, since Den is back up and operational, it looks like it was still doing some migration this morning, but it's back now. I wanted to chime in with the replies because there were some replies on the coffee post. Jacob Wayne is in the Virgin Islands. He's doing some, he's a photographer and he does some videography, and he takes pictures of people's houses to help them sell it. And he said he's down there. Where did he say he was? He said it in the post. Let me see. He says, "Cheers from St. Thomas. I'll be filming my friend's condo down here, and I'll definitely make a nomadic gear video of our trip. Lots of drone footage, of course, and we'll post photos in the travel and explore layer. Also, send me the Iceland footage, and I'll do something neat." That should definitely do that.
I was wondering if he was going to tell you to send him the damn Iceland footage.
Yeah. So, cheers to Jacob Wayne. Sorry, I haven't sent you the Iceland footage. I am occasionally, very often, lazy, so that happened. Shout out to Juicy J for that diorama. Anybody see the diorama he did?
Good stuff.
The Star
Good
Wars
stuff.
thing.
No,
Really good stuff.
That was great. Let me just go to his account here.
Professional looking.
It looks great. He said that they're rewatching The Mandalorian. His family. Let me see. It's in here somewhere. And here we go. And this is the 28th. Is that the one I'm looking for? Probably. And he's got some cool like photos of them making. Here's the one I was looking at.
Yeah,
making
that's
it.
amazing.
Yeah, so they
Star Wars
are
diarrhea. What is that?
Yeah, Star Wars diorama. Different word.
Yeah,
So they make
not.
they are recreating scenes from The Mandalorian, right? So you make that, you put the toys on there, you get a macro lens on your camera, and you end up with shit like this, and it looks dope.
Holy crap!
And then
Look at that. That was awesome.
Isn't that great? Isn't that fantastic?
Amazing.
Yeah. So shout out for that. It looks like he's got some others that I haven't seen yet.
You can make a little stop animation movie.
That's a lot more work, but yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You can make a pain in the ass animation movie. Oh, that's cool.
I thought that was a giant Boba Fett for a second.
Nah, dude, he's just elevating. He's got rockets.
With the
Learn
Force.
science.
The stormtroopers.
Look at the background. Look at the background.
Make him fly.
Phenomenal.
Isn't that great?
Looks like a 60s movie set.
You must have taken. So I see the sticks and stuff, and then there must be a photograph behind that for depth for the rest of it, kind of like you do in video games.
Yeah.
But I thought these were great. Like I want to make some. I'm not gonna, but I want to.
Let's make some diagrams.
Oh, okay.
There's
He's got a whole
look at
post
that.
about his setup. Nice. I didn't see this
Oh,
one.
that's so cool.
This is somebody
All
who's
right.
got like a passion hobby.
Or kids.
Yeah,
He's good at it.
He's good
Next
at
thing you
building
know,
stuff.
we're going to see his name on titles in movies, theaters.
See, stuff like this makes me wish that CGI
kids'
hadn't
name.
taken over the entire movie industry and we still had really good model work.
I mean, there is a push to like go back to practical effects, which I do appreciate. You know,
I
and
didn't
even
realize
Disney
until-
has done that
It's
with
the art.
some of their
It's
stuff.
it's an art. It's a art form.
I didn't realize until recently that the size of the model that they had for the movie Titanic is insane. Like it's massive.
I haven't seen much on that, but I believe it. Yeah,
It's huge, and I mean they
Yeah,
genuinely
it's right.
cracked it in half.
It's right here. Look.
He's like, yeah, I got it right down there.
I hit the wrong button. There we go. Yeah,
There it is. Yeah, that's the Titanic right there model, right?
Oh, there's
Yeah,
a
I don't see
Blackbird
anything.
Huge.
on that. We were talking about the Blackbird earlier. There's
Hey,
a
speaking of-
Blackbird on
There's
that.
an F-14 on there too.
There you go. You can go there and touch it.
I was just.
Did you guys see
there.
the cistern?
That's what I was
that
going to look at
leak.
next. Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't
yes.
know anything about that. It
I
looks
want to go. I put it on my bucket list. I got to go there. I got to.
it looks super cool. It's massive.
Yeah.
It's just impressive to me whenever I look at photos of when I see places that are just massive like this, and I'm like, that took more than a person's lifespan to make.
When was
Oh,
this
yeah.
built?
You know what I mean? Which is probably the most
It's
impressive
in
part. to me.
Istanbul.
It's in
Okay.
Istanbul. Yeah.
So is it like part of was it Byzantine Empire or
Byzantine?
Byzantine.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yes.
the
I
people
think
who
so.
worked on the Gemini project called it Gemini?
Tomato.
Byzantine period, right there during the Byzantine period. I'm pointing at the
Hey.
screen. You see my finger?
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
you pointing.
Lower,
Like
lower.
Right there. Yeah. Yep. Byzantine. Whenever
that's
I know a guy who mispronounces everything, but I can't bring myself to make fun of him because I know that the reason for that is because he's self-educated and he reads a lot. So he didn't get anyone to teach it to him and say them verbally, so he never heard how it was supposed to be pronounced. So he just reads textbooks and he pronounces it however he pronounces it.
Yeah,
know
I love that. That's freaking awesome. Like,
But
can
this
you
is
imagine being the smartest person in the world, but you just mispronounce
He's
everything?
you just don't know how to
Everything.
pronounce
Yeah.
things.
There's,
Like, you invented spaceships,
and he's southern as fuck. So like there's that too. You know the tea yerba mate tea like cans that
yeah.
are in stores and stuff.
Oh, don't tell me he takes that and mixes it with some half and half.
No,
and then adds some whiskey to it.
No, I don't think he does that.
Alex,
But he does go
I'll
on.
take Byzantine. I'll take Byzantine cistern for $1,000.
All right, let me just open up my yerba mate over here. I love me some yerba mate.
If you want to be on the show, you just gotta ask, buddy.
But yeah, this is cool. Good call on that. I am.
I love
far as
that.
bucket
Place.
list kind of
I
thing.
gotta go see this. It's just
That's
amazing.
badass.
Friend of a family has his mom lives there. He's from Turkey. And so
Look
maybe
it
I don't know,
up.
we can find an excuse to exactly. Yeah.
Look it
Crash at mom's
up.
place. I don't know.
Technically have family in Turkey. I might be able to use that to my advantage.
Or we could just go and find a place like I
I'm
know they
going
have
on
hotels,
Thanksgiving.
so.
I was about to
I'm
say,
going on Thanksgiving.
my family doesn't mean Thanksgiving. Does that help? I don't know.
Yeah. So that's cool. Thanks for leaving that because I had I've been like Monday I was basically out. Sometimes I have a headache all fucking day. And it went into Tuesday too. But Yeah, I hadn't seen a lot of that stuff, so that's cool. Thanks for bringing it up.
Do you have anything to take for migraines? Just curious.
Water and ibuprofen.
Holy shit!
You
It
know,
looked like
The
it
thing
snowed
called
last night,
sumatriptan is pretty good.
bro. I
Yeah.
think we had the first snow in New York last night.
Did it really?
Did it snow?
Yeah. Hold on, I'll show you. This is what it looks like when it snows right now. Can you see?
Wild.
You know, we were just looking over there, and I didn't notice those.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
But
You're
yeah,
right.
I
There's
didn't
snow
see
all
that.
over
I
the
showed
roof.
you that over here. But like, if you look on the roof there's snow. And then but if you look at no, that's just something else. If you can see, nope, you can't see from this far. Trust me, there's like snow on the ground.
Mhm. Take my word for it.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know what snow looks
There's a
like.
snow connoisseur.
I've had Italian ice before.
Cool.
So hey,
Yeah, what was the question y'all were gonna ask me, or make sure there's no more questions on the thread, and then we can do that?
no, we read the thread. There's no
We
more
did it.
questions there.
There's more.
Was there
questions.
something we were going to ask John? I
I don't
wasn't
know.
aware of
There's
that.
more things on the thread.
I'm anxious to see more of his
Those aren't-
artwork that he used to do.
Oh, we miss his NFTs.
I got something coming back for him. You'll see. There's
Oh
something.
god, we're
coming
gonna
back.
get some kind of crazy storyline.
Who the fuck knows, man?
It's you. We have no idea.
It's all
Actually,
made up on the spot. That's why it's always
the
fun.
points don't matter.
Yeah,
Points don't matter.
No,
Good
the
one.
points do
Good
matter.
one.
That's how I get paid.
the points are matter.
Okay. Well, if we make a game show, if the game show continues onward working well, then that needs to be a tagline.
I like
the points
that.
are matter.
Everything.
Hyperion frequency. What are you asking about? What movie? The movie I recommended earlier. That was called.
Oh
I
god,
still got the tab open over here. Was it you guys? You people. You people
it was called Pride and Prejudice
on Netflix comedy. You people with Jonah Hill and other people as
Eddie
well.
Murphy's in it.
Eddie Murphy's in it.
On that note, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and scoot for the morning. I gotta get some work done.
Why don't go fix those laptops?
Good
Oh,
to
the
see
one-
everyone.
Check
the
out
one
that
that you
Netflix.
listed it.
I will report back on that when I see you next week,
Graham Hancock.
Okay.
or I'll send you something on Dan. You'll see it. Y'all have a wonderful morning. Good to talk
All right.
to everybody.
See you later, Gravity Crab.
Oh,
The
no.
Bankless shows on YouTube, and then I want to say you said something else over here. Oh, there's also Don't Look Up, which was pretty funny. Also, I like that one a lot. Dude, you got a lot of recommendations in here. I don't know which one you're talking about. Just recommend it again so I know which one you're talking about.
I think
and
he
I'll
wanted the
throw it
one
up
that
there.
you were recommending to say again.
I did, and then I was wrong about that because then he said the one
Then
I
the one I
listed.
listed.
See, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Don't look up.
this one. I can't highlight them. That sucks.
Another good comedy. So, you want to help me with my homework real quick?
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, tomorrow we got a Den.social call. We don't have the Den.social post up yet. So what should we? Oh, Maniac, you said. Maniac.
Yeah, that was one of the ones you sent earlier.
Watch Maniac. Okay, I'll have to watch Maniac. See, now I know what you're talking about because you see how much easier it was to write the word Maniac instead of three different things with different sentences.
No, you actually said Maniac though. It was
Oh,
just
did I?
in,
Okay.
in the one that says "Don't Look Up." It has Maniac in it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hey,
that was
guys.
fun. Yeah.
Now that I'm a grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
and on Friday it'll be of 2 weeks. I've been working on my old man routine. Can I show it to you real quick?
Yeah. What do you got for us?
All right.
You got to make sure you're doing it right. You know, got
There's
to
a
work on
hat
that
that goes
routine.
with it and everything.
Pull your glasses down. Get the ball cap on. Yeah. This is you trying to read.
That's not old man. You don't even have gums in this. Like,
Well, no, he's doing
this is
the
like
gums thing pretty
senile.
well. Now you got to try to shake someone's hand who isn't there. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Oh no, I feel so bad.
You know what you can do is every
How is
time
that?
you interact,
Pretty
with your grandchild, you act like
Yeah.
that, and then
Yeah.
one day when they're like 12, you just start acting normal. They're like, "What the fuck? Grandpa's cured. What happened?"
It was your-
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
You were just being a little butt today.
But hey, what do we want to cover tomorrow on the Den.social call? Because we got to get that post up.
Well,
That's
I guess
easy.
the proposal that has passed
True.
Um,
True.
what we're working on next, or what we're currently working on, maybe the glitches that we saw today.
Okay, so there's let's throw this in here. We have the results, so that's in there. The results of the auto subscribe. This is just the draft that will end up
Right.
being the post.
Uh-huh.
LCP starts Tuesday. I had did I miss the proposal phase? I might have.
Right clicks. That's big.
Right clicks.
Yes.
Right click. Thanks. Also, I can't right click like the icons for the layers. Like if I wanted to snag the picture of it,
Yeah, that's for secure. It's because we're I was going to say I didn't have. I had half a joke together in my head about Web3 and NFT profile pics, but I lost it. Something about right click and saving.
What's the real answer?
Oh, it's just the way that the UI is made is rendered in a way that is not like a normal web page where you would click on it and it would know that that's an image you're clicking on. Basically, it's just the way that it is the answer.
That's bullshit. I want to be able to steal the pictures.
Well, you can screenshot it and then cut it out and then
you gotta
save
screenshot it, and then you gotta like pull it apart, and then you gotta like erase the background to it. It's a pain.
Yeah, you gotta work hard, man. We don't not trying to make you lazy. What was the there was the migration thing. The migration thing. What do I say here?
There's a border wall. What are you trying to say?
We talked about how we're migrating, how the thing that handles the
servers.
Yeah.
Oh, potential password changes. I don't know if you want to announce that yet.
And then what else do we need to talk about? Migration stuff, and yeah, I'll just say migration stuff. I'll figure that out later. What else? Right clicking. If you want to come on and talk about that, it's at 3 p.m. Eastern. You can totally join us. Let's see. What else do we need? LCP, the GIs. Okay, that's good for now. I just want to see if you had any thoughts on that.
Guess who's not leaving the house on Friday? This boy.
What's going on Friday? Is there a storm or what?
Low of 9 degrees.
9. Low of 9.
What I'm having is going your way, or I should say, going your way.
It's been getting. We've been having weird weather in Florida. It would get to like in the 30s and then the 80s, and then the next day it'll be the 30s again, and then it'll be the 80s again. So it's super weird.
Ours has been super consistent. I've liked it. But yeah, it's like, so it's only 9 degrees for one day. Like until Thursday, it's like between 40 and like 30 pretty much. Mm-hmm. And then Friday, it's like high of 29, low of 9. And then the next day, it's like 26 all day. Then Sunday, it's 47 and then 46. And like, like it's just one day. It's like one day. Hopefully, you don't have anything you have to do that day because you won't want to leave the house.
We just keep like flowers start blooming and stuff, and then it gets cold again, and it's just like, nope, never mind.
Right. Fuck,
never
flowers.
mind.
Nice try. Nice try, spring.
And there's a lot of azaleas here too, and those things are so sensitive. You can park a warm car next to them, and they'll bloom. Like they're so eager to bloom.
Wow.
Right. So look, man, I'm out of coffee, which means the show's over. I got to go get some more. Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for the input on that Istanbul. Is it called a cistern?
Thank you. Yeah, cistern. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Basilica cistern.
And I'll go through and finish the subscriptions to all the other layers this morning. Maybe after lunch, but probably here in a few minutes. And so then you should be, if you're subscribed to something that you don't like, just unsubscribe from it. And like I said, if you've unsubscribed in the past, you shouldn't be resubscribed to it. But this is like the one time that there'll be a big shotgun subscription to everything kind of thing, because going forward, we'll still auto subscribe every one of the new LCPs, but it'll just be like the few that win, not like a whole bunch of massive stuff. And when they first win, there's not a whole bunch of activity in them yet either, so it shouldn't be anything too messy going forward. And then, in the future, having an opt-out toggle. I know yesterday when that was being implemented, one of the devs was like, "Hey, are we going to make a toggle for this to opt out? Because this seems like something that some people might not want," which is a great point. So an opt-out toggle would be great. And with that, let's see.
I like how many options you guys are giving the customer, right? Like, here's a toggle for words or not words. Here's an opt-out thing, right? Like it's like
people are picky, man. You know,
whenever you create anything, you're like, but what if we didn't? And then
yeah, like right here, it's like when we had the icons, and it's like, okay, what if we put words on here? But what if we wanted to make it to where we didn't have words? Yeah.
So like that's kind of cool.
That's all John right there. That's all John.
Yeah.
He knows people in places.
That's what we should have, a hover over this little carrot, this little icon right here. That whenever you go to click on it to say thanks T Swift or die.
That's great. Yeah, you should do that
forever.
Let my name live on in infamy.
There's your legacy. We were talking about legacy earlier.
Go leave a question for tomorrow's World Blockchain Roundtable. So it's on weaponizing blockchain. I like to think of it as a defensive weapon.
Mm-hmm.
How can you use it
Good
to
luck
help
with
people?
That one.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting show.
To fight tyranny.
To fight tyranny. Yeah, nobody likes tyranny.
All right. Did you answer all the questions on the Coffee with Den post?
I did. Yeah, I did, because there was like 3. So we went there. We did the cistern.
That's 1.
We did the beer.
2.
Jacob Wayne, and then we talked about Juicy J's diorama.
Was there any more? No.
That was it. Read this.
Yeah.
Done. Check.
It took you so long to get you to go back to the page.
Yep.
I think you'd asked twice or 3 times.
I didn't know that was why you kept asking.
Yeah,
I was just like, yes,
4.
John, it's there, dude. But no, got you.
Oh, that's a good
All
one.
right, now we have
Thanks,
100% completion,
There you
achievement
go.
unlocked, all of that. So
I better
There should have been like that's like a virtual geocache right there.
Yeah.
John,
prize,
where was the
prize.
prize? Dave should get a prize for that.
Yeah, I'll have to go check and see if anybody's gotten that. I know Alxon's
That's such a cool
made
idea.
it there. Alxon's did actually. He took a screenshot. He went there. He found at least the portal to the monochrome planet. So if he hasn't gone through and gotten the seed phrase, he needs to do that.
So cool. Great idea. Great idea.
Yeah, it was fun. It's fun to make too.
And it's documented that you did this. On
Yeah,
DIMS.
first.
So I mean, it's on the blockchain. That
It's on
if anyone
chain.
ever wanted to dispute this and say I did it first in
It's like
2025, no.
you know how
Look
like
at
in the
it right
was it the 90s? Things were off the chain if they were cool.
Hmm.
Now it's on the chain. That's the new thing. It's on the chain. All right, that was bad.
What the fuck?
Go leave a question for weaponizing blockchain. Go check out yesterday's Super Happy Dragon Lucky. That's updates on Dragon Chain and Den. You can leave questions in their AMA style for that. Check out the governance call that is going to be tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, that we just got done editing the agenda for. So that will be up in the Den.social layer soon. There's a link for it all in the show notes here. And with that, I will see y'all on the flip side. Any last words about the snow or about Indiana Jones? None. All right.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I'm spent. I'm spent. No, everyone have a great day. Be safe out there.
I got one
Take care.
last thing.
Do the right thing.
Let's hear it. One last thing from John.
I got a bone to pick with you, World Blockchain Roundtable people.
Roundtable people.
You didn't let my thing win this for February. I wanted a game show on World Blockchain Roundtable, and it didn't happen.
Well, we could still have a game show on World Blockchain Roundtable.
So-
The topic didn't win, so there's not a full show on just the topic of game shows. But that doesn't mean we can't decide to. In fact, you are a lot holder in that layer, which means you can propose in an official governance issue to replace one of the show's the intro, the 30-minute current events section with a game show. You can propose that.
Dave, I was literally about to say that, and then you cut me off in the middle.
Well, that's because I was getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say that, and then be like,
yeah. You want to say it your way and see if it sounds better?
Hey, I'm coming on the show anyway. I don't care. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the coolest thing in the whole world. And all y'all are gonna regret everything. But then you cut me out. Then you mansplain how World Watching Roundtable works.
That's why they call me Mansplain Dave, man.
That you just like in the middle of my sentence, you're just like, bro, I'm gonna say this right now, and I'm gonna explain it. And I was just like, all right, shit.
All right.
Well, good.
It's hard being a man in this world sometimes.
Yeah. You just want to keep going with that?
No, it's helpful.
Okay. All right, you be safe too. Happy you're in frequency. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. See you next Wednesday. Throw in any suggestions for the topic next week. I know we don't do an official thing like World Blockchain does, but we're open to whatever you want to talk about, obviously. So see you around. Thanks again. And here's a song called Enter the Dragon from one of our denizens named Y'all Weird. Bye-bye.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best.
Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. Adaptable approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now?